Welcome back, Web3 TV, and welcome back to Freedom with Web3 podcast. I am Cristina Najera, and today I have a very special guest. We are going to learn a lot about marketing, PR, and media in general, because this is key for the Web3 space. We know how important is this topic, because if you understand that a lot of things happen first in Twitter or on X, you will discover new projects, you will learn more about crypto, blockchain, and Web3 in general. So please say welcome to Laura. She is the CEO of an award-winning marketing agency. How are you doing today?
Hi, Cristina. I'm super excited to be here, and thank you for having me again on your stage.
Yes, I'm very happy because you were traveling around. It's not easy for me to see you in Dubai all the time, but the times I see you, I'm very glad because you bring a lot of value to this city. So I would love to start understanding more who you are.
Awesome. So I'm Laura. I'm the founder and CEO of LK Consulting. I've been in crypto space since 2016 when I did my first ICO. Back in the day, imagine I'm there just out of college and a guy approaches me and he's like, Laura, we're gonna do an ICO. Back in the day, I didn't know what ICOs are at all. And it's like, we're gonna have 3 W's: website, white paper, and a wallet, and we're gonna be rich. Imagine how it felt like. I thought it was a scam. It's not gonna work this way. But something twisted, something popped in my head. I was like, maybe I should try it. And a few months later, we do one of the first ICOs, raise 7 figures, and that kind of commemorates the journey of me going into crypto. So since then, of being freelancer, helping one of the first projects to get launched, I've worked with more than 200 projects at different capacities, from layer 1s, exchanges, infrastructure projects to gaming, to help them build their community and launch in the space. Some of our more notable clients would be Binance, Solana, work a lot with Mantle ecosystem. We work a lot with different exchanges like KuCoin and Bybit.
Wow, very impressive, because at that time, it was not easy to find information on the internet about Bitcoin, Ethereum, or any other chain. So when you found this opportunity, it was easy for you to just go in, or you thought about it?
Back in the day, I was just out of college and I didn't really have any idea what I want to do in life. I knew I definitely want to be in finance, in technology, and me going in TradFi would be, uphill battle. Everyone would be twice my age with years of experience. Whereas in crypto, as I was just starting out and the industry was just starting out, I could have spent a couple of years and become an OG. So for me, that back in the day looked a very, very smart decision. Hey, I should go in a space where it's growing, it's expanding, it has more and more opportunities, but they're still lacking talent. Because a lot of people didn't feel like crypto is going to be a big thing, even though it is right now.
Yes, 100%. Now, crypto is regulated in some countries, so we have a lot of opportunities in different spaces, in different industries. And with that, I would love to know more about the challenges that you faced when you start. What was the most difficult time when you start this journey?
So when it comes to challenges, I would say the biggest, not even a challenge, but exciting part of the journey were, of course, the bear markets. Crypto is very much about the bull market where everyone's rich, everyone's making 10x, 100x's, but then at one point, everything starts to crash and we have a bear market. So a couple of times in my career when we had bear markets and I was struggling to get new clients, find myself in a space, establish, a name, I'd be like, maybe I should quit. Maybe I should just get a nice 9-to-5 in a corporate and chill every day, do a little bit of work, be happy. But I kept going. I never lost my faith of this space. And I knew if I work hard enough, I'll provide good value. There's always going to be projects who want to work, projects going to trust you, who not only to do the token launches, but do user acquisitions, help them to build their communities. And almost 8 years later, I'm still here, and I'm very glad that I never quit.
100%. You won an award with your marketing agency. How was that? How was the feeling when you, after so many years of working hard, somebody recognized all your efforts?
So we have a couple of awards actually as an agency, and one of the biggest one we got was by Entrepreneur Magazine, awarding us for the best Web3 marketing. And to be honest, I still cannot believe it. Like, when you have this email saying, hey, I would love to have you at this event, with kind of wink that there might be an award, you feel like maybe it's not the case. We don't know. Okay, let's go. Let's see how it's gonna be. And then you're actually there, sitting in an audience, and they call your name. You go on the stage, everyone's cheering, everyone's screaming for you, and you realize this is real life. We're actually being recognized, and the feeling is incredible. There's countless nights I've put in work, helping my clients, helping my team members to succeed. And of course, they say, think you have a business, it does well, but having this physical representation of your success, that feels different. And
Yes.
I'm very, very glad we have put in the work to be recognized.
100%. I feel you deserve it because you have been in this space since long. And as you mentioned, you make sure you help your clients. So with that, I would love to know what makes your agency special, because nowadays we have some agencies that have been in the space since long and other agencies that are very new. So why they should go to you?
That's a very good question. So I would say like this, our biggest competition is not other agencies. They're amazing agencies for everyone that are focusing on different verticals, different countries, geographies. Our biggest competition is usually founders choosing whether to work in-house and hire the team internally or the agency. That's bigger competition than the other agencies. And when it comes to us, why we're different and how we position ourselves, we're the full scope solution. When projects come to us, we not just build their community, not just make sure the Twitter, the Telegram, the Discord is flooded with the right people, we also take them by the hand, introduce with all the right partners. So would it be launchpads? We work with all the top launchpads, Maker, Ape Terminal, Pools, CDFI, CoinList, and others. We also work with all the top exchanges, so like Binance, KuCoin, Bybit, XC, and others, to help projects get listed. We know what their requirements, what are the criteria. So when we're doing our marketing campaign, we always have the end goal in mind, which is an exchange listing. So the clients know that when they come to us, we're gonna do 360. We're gonna take them throughout all of this journey. We have done it many times, and we know what to prioritize, what to focus on, and what are the things that a lot of founders do but actually provide zero value.
Wow, I love that because you have a very clear idea on who is your right client. And with that, I would love to know, how do you choose them? Because there are a lot of projects nowadays, especially that the market is going up. How do you choose the right client for you?
We're in a very fortunate place to have the luxury of being selective. So we don't take every client who approaches us, because we want to make sure we're working with only the best of the best and with the founders who have the grit and perseverance to succeed. So first thing what we do is we do diligence. Who are the founders? What is their experience? Do they have a good reputation? We don't work with founders that are not doxed. So we need to make sure we have the face, the name. We're not going to work with someone who is hiding behind a picture of an NFT or a nickname. Then we look into the product. We always see at what stage the product is. Is it already developed? Can we look around it? Can we play with it? If there is no product, we'd also be very hesitant to work with that kind of client. And number 3, who are their partners, who are their supporters and backers and investors as well. If the project has all of the 3, then we consider working with them. But again, even if the project has everything, if the founders are not ready to put in the hard work, to put in the hours, be there, be available, and persistent with their success, we're not going to work with this client. And it sounds so obvious, like, hey, the founder must be excited, eager for success. You don't know how many times in the beginning of my career, when we just started the agency, would have clients who come to us, they sign us, they pay us money to deliver some sort of result. Let's say it would be a user acquisition, getting, let's say, users for the exchange. And then we need to chase them to get approvals, to get information, to get our job done. And they ignore us, they don't respond to us, they show up on calls. And then you're sitting there, I'm like, you paid us money and you didn't want us to deliver? How does it work? So there is a lot of not serious founders in the space, and we really try to be very selective not to waste our time with those.
Yes, that's very interesting. And what you mentioned just remind me that this space is very young. A lot of people that are founders or investors even are very young, and their mindset is so different from people who have been in finance, for example, for years, like people who have like maybe 20 years of experience on that. So being in this ecosystem full of young people, how do you feel about that? It is something that it's exciting for you, or you rather prefer working with somebody who has been working not only in this space, but who has experience in previous industries?
So actually, again, we're very fortunate to work with more seasoned founders, with experienced founders who usually have either exits beforehand or corporate life experience. So when we work with someone, we always check what they have done before, what was their experience, and we always prioritize someone who knows how business is done. And even if they had failed businesses, still having previous experience of doing something from the scratch, having a vision and then building it is incredible. And that's what sets good founders apart. So we always try to select people who work with, who have experience in business, not are just out of college.
Yes, and also this industry has people from all over the world. You are based in Europe, you come to Dubai, you travel all over the world. However, is this something that is exciting for you, or you prefer to work with founders one-on-one or in person?
So of course, being in person, sitting, talking is the best way how you can do business. But fortunately, our clients are all around the world. I have clients from US, from Europe, from Middle East, from Asia, and you can't meet them all. Of course, we have conferences, we have events like big ones like Token, for example. We had now Bitcoin live events. So you try to meet them in these big events, sit down for dinner, have a conversation, but in the end, the work, of course, is online, which sometimes things get lost in translation, but you do what you gotta do here.
Yes, this space, it's global, so that's what I love about it, because you meet people from all over the world. Even in one team, you can have people from Europe, from the US, from Asia. So that's one of the beautiful things about being in this space. And with that, I would love to know more about you. What's the future for Laura? Because you have done a lot, and now the market is very excited. So what's new? What's new for you? What makes you excited now?
So when it comes to the future plans, I think right now we're on the verge of the biggest bull market yet. So my goal is to have good projects get launched, get listed within the next 6 to 9 months, prioritize just launching, as it is the time to launch, working with the right founders, having good returns for the agency. And after we're gonna hit the beginning of the bull run, cashing out and just buying a horse and enjoy probably my summer in Lithuania riding in the fields.
I love that. I love that you balance your life, because it's so easy to get lost in this space. It's 24/7. You can go to Twitter or you can go to the markets anytime. So having this balance is important. However, it's not easy for people that is in the space. So I'm glad to hear that. And let's talk about Bitcoin. You have been with Bitcoin since 2016. And now we've seen the highest price of Bitcoin. What do you think about it?
So when I first heard about Bitcoin, it was $2,000. Unfortunately, I was a pro-college student and I couldn't convince my parents, be like, sell the house, take the loan, let's go all in Bitcoin, even though I should have. I bought some, I bought a little bit, and I've been through ups and downs, going up, crashing. And right now, when we have $75,000 in Bitcoin price as we speak, I'm not surprised. Like, we know 100,000 is going to happen sooner or later. We know 200,000 is going to happen sooner or later. So it's just about the time and about being patient. A lot of people in this space are not patient, and they're here for the short term, and then they get burned. So as long as you're being an investor and not a speculator, when you buy and hold, you're going to be good. Your money is going to grow. You're going to make good percentages and returns, but you need to be patient. And that's my biggest kind of advice to everyone. Be patient, buy it, and hold it.
Yes, that's very good advice. And now let's talk about meme coins. That's the opposite of patient. So since this is huge now in this space, what do you think about them?
So I feel like meme coins are the NFTs 2.0. Last cycle, everyone was crazy about these pretty pictures that you can put on your Twitter profile and you pay hundreds of thousands, if not millions. This cycle, it's meme coins. Every time when there is a market that goes up and people become rich very quickly without really understanding what it's like to put in the work, they value their money differently as well. And when they hear these stories of, teenagers becoming rich overnight by buying another Dogecoin, They're like, hey, I want to do it as well. I want to gamble in a sense, but maybe I'm going to be the lucky one. So I feel like meme coins are very much gambling. It's definitely not a sustainable investment. It's very much alpha driven. You need to know the right people to get the right alpha, the right signals, what to buy. And if you have the right group, yes, it can be very lucrative. I've made some good money buying certain things. My friends say, hey, you should buy this. But it's also very risky. And I consider it gambling at this stage.
Yes, and also you need to be on top of that because you don't know when you need to sell. And if you are not with your cell phone or with your computer, you can easily lose the
It's
money.
24/7 then.
Yes. So I think that's a lot of rewards, but also it could be very risky. You can lose it all. So I believe it's for people who are very open to risk. And it's interesting that you mentioned that now people are coming to the space because they see stories, they see people getting rich out of it, and then they think they can do it as well. So I think it's a way for adoption. I think it's helpful to bring more people. However, I think there are other ways like real world assets. I love real world assets because I feel people understand more how they can use crypto and what is the value behind it. What do you think about that?
100%. So I feel like RWA is one of those narratives that are going to be very hot in the coming months because this is, again, as you said, you can touch something, you can feel something. For example, fractionalized ownership of real estate. That's an actual use case you can use and you can understand. And we definitely in crypto space need more projects that bring Web2 people to Web3. RWA is one of those narratives. Gaming as well. I'm very, very bullish on gaming because I believe that gamers are those who are already used to in-app currencies, who understand what is the magic internet money, as they call it, and they can make a very easy switch from just playing games to playing games and trading in-game assets, trading assets between different games. There was one project that was building a platform infrastructure to earn assets in one game and then transfer those assets to another one. So imagine you get like a sword or some kind of booster pack in one game and you can transfer it anywhere else where you're playing as long as it's within an ecosystem. That's amazing use case. You can use it and gamers will understand it as well and they kind of become Web3 users. So we need more projects and narratives that bring, as we call it, the normies into Web3 space.
I love that. And something very interesting as well is that there are some projects that have blockchain on the back. One example of that is TravelX. So passengers can buy an NFT and as a ticket, and then they can resell it if they are not going to use it. And it's something that maybe people don't know that they are buying an NFT, but because it's working on the back end of the system. And I think that's a very good way to bring more people to see the adoption. However, it's a very different thing from, for example, a coin that they are launching and now a lot of people will buy because they believe on that project. So from your perspective, which projects are the ones who have more success? Since you have helped a lot of projects, which ones you see that have more success?
So when it comes to projects that actually make it, it's not about the narrative. It's not about what you're building. Is there a need for whatever you are? Is there a use case? Is there a target audience? And are you actually solving a problem? And whether blockchain is used as an underlying technology, like you used this example with travel tickets, or is it a nice buzzword because they want to launch a token? We have this joke in our fund at Illuminati Capital that when we look into certain projects, I'll ask, what is the business model? You know what the business model usually is? A token. That's the whole goal, just to pump the token price and cash it out. And that's the wrong way to do business. That's not how you should come in this space. You need to have a project where a token is just needed, part of necessity and not nice to have. So those projects who understand it, they're the ones who are being successful in the space.
Wow, very interesting. And with that, I would love to know more about your fund. When did you start and how did you start it?
So I'm currently partner in Illuminati Capital. We're a 50 million fund based here in Dubai. We're 5 partners. We have started in the beginning of the bear market because that's the best market to invest. You want to invest in the bear market and cash it out in the bull market. So we did 40 projects. We have 40 SAFs. And now we're waiting for them to launch and see if our bets were right. And if they were, well, then maybe it's not going to be one horse. Maybe it's going to be a couple of horses.
I love that you saw the long term and now you will be able to capitalize on that. And with this, I would love to know, how did you choose your partners? Because you mentioned it's not only you have more partners.
So these are the people that are in the space for many years. They have experience selecting the right projects, investing, and then knowing when to exit. Because it's not about just investing, it's also knowing when to exit. You might have your tokens unlocked, but it's not necessarily time to sell. So you need to very much time it with the market and what's happening. So basically, yeah, there were people who have a similar mindset, similar vision at life. They were like, hey, let's all join our forces, our visions on investment align, and let's try to make some money.
100%. And why did you choose Dubai? Because you could choose any other city, and then you chose Dubai to create a fund.
So we're not registered in Dubai. We're based, majority of people are based here.
Okay.
Our fund is registered in BVI. But why Dubai? Dubai is incredible. Like, winters are the best. The weather, the infrastructure, the people, everyone from the space is usually based here during the winter. You can make incredible connections, meet people. Even from the agency perspective, that's where majority of my business happens. I mean, you can go to US, but US is going down right now. I don't like what's happening with their politics. I don't like what's happening with their infrastructure. Europe is amazing for summer. Southeast Asia is another region that I'm very bullish on. Spent a lot of time in like Singapore and Vietnam and Thailand to see how the ecosystem is gonna develop there. But I think Middle East is this middle part between Europe and Asia, where it's easy to access the rest of the world from.
Very interesting. Have you ever get a project from Latin America?
No, unfortunately, but I have few employees from Argentina. The best people. I love it. If you want someone in the creative industry, incredible. Like my designer, Maria, is Argentinian. I have changed 8 designers, and she was the last one I hired already almost 2 years ago. Incredible work. The eye for details, the eye for understanding, like one of the best creative peoples.
Yes, I'm very curious to see why people are not focused on this market, because it's huge and also is emerging. Maybe what came to my mind is because of the language, right? In Asia, people speak English, and I think that's a huge barrier to enter this market. What are your thoughts on that?
100%. I think Brazil is definitely a huge market. It's an emerging market. There are a lot of projects in gaming that are very bullish on Brazil. Argentina is up and coming as well, especially because their economy is not doing well, have huge inflation. Argentine peso is just not working out. So there's definitely some opportunities in this space. I think the biggest problem, as you said yourself, is the language barrier. So if you want to do business, let's say in Brazil, you need to have Portuguese language. In Argentina, you need to have Spanish language. And unfortunately, as I would love to speak those languages, I cannot. So that's why, at least from our perspective, we're not focusing on that particular region.
Cool. Yes, that's what I thought. And what about the investment? Since you opened this fund with your friends or with your partners, how do you choose the projects? Is it the same way you chose your clients?
It's actually very similar. So we want experienced founders who have track record under the belt, who are building something that is very much on point with the narratives. So right now we're very bullish on gaming because that's going to bring Web2 to Web3. We're very bullish on infrastructure projects because I believe that's still something that people kind of forget. AI, another narrative that we invested a lot. So we choose the narrative, the founders. Then we also look into the tokenomics and investment terms. There are founders who come to us and you look at the terms and they're giving us 12 months lockup, 48 months cliff, and then you start looking when you're gonna get the tokens, and you realize their token's gonna be in 5 years. And I'm like, do I trust these founders to still be here in 5 years when we're probably gonna have another bear market and only gonna start having tokens? So I know it's a game of founders trying to get investors money by giving them bad terms so that investors would end up, and investors want to get the best terms possible for them to make money. It's, this kind of cat and mouse game, but you have to meet somewhere in the middle. So tokenomics is very, very important, and the terms are very important to us as well.
Yes, and we were discussing about mini apps before we started, and I'm so interested to understand more. What are your thoughts on that? Because I just went to the Town Getaway. Did you go there? And it was amazing, a lot of builders. However, I feel like every time there is a new wave of different things. So what are your thoughts on the mini apps? Because I feel that it's a very interesting way to bring more adoption, since Telegram already has almost 1 billion users. It's very easy to translate, the narrative of, okay, you are already here. Why not you join this app and you start learning about something new, or you start playing something? So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm very bullish on Ton as an ecosystem itself. I definitely believe that's one of those ways how we can bring more users and more adoption. The only challenge we have right now is that a lot of these mini apps that we have, like tap to earn, play to earn, are focused on having the wrong people in their communities. So those are the people who come there because they know they're gonna make money, rather than because they want to play the app. They're usually thinking of, what is the minimum things I can do to be eligible for airdrop? And the moment they have an airdrop, they get the token and they can sell it, they dump it. So you need to really think it through as a founder. What are your token economics? How you're structuring your airdrop, and are you inviting the right people? And what is their purchasing power? Because if they're playing your game to get the airdrop, doesn't mean they're gonna buy your token. And that's why we have all of these games on Telegram having like 10 million of players, 20 million of players, but then they do a token launch and no one's buying. There's no volume because these were the wrong people in the first place for your goal to launch a token and have the buying pressure. So it's a double-edged sword. You have a lot of people, but these are not the people with a high purchasing power. So as long as the founders think it through very well and not get lost in the vanity numbers, I'm very, very bullish on Town ecosystem and the apps that are built on them.
Yes, that's very interesting because I was thinking I'm building a mini app where people can go and learn and reward them because they are learning. However, as you mentioned, now the narrative is that people invite others because they say, oh, we will get some money, so come join me. So how can you differentiate between projects that are actually bringing users that will buy things inside and apps that are just bringing users that are waiting there for money?
So here you need to be a little bit more stingy and not have a very big airdrop and not give too many rewards, and only incentivize the actions that are actually towards the token price increase or token purchases, depending where your project is at which stage. So as long as you incentivize the right things and not just downloads or not just signups or not just registrations, you're going to be good. But you really need to think it through. Why are you rewarding people and what's the behavior? It's better to reward less people but larger amount, but that would be people who actually put in the work to promote your app and bring the right users.
Yes, 100%. And I guess you will be able to see that once you go to the app and you find out how people are coming and what they are doing inside. So you can see.
Plus you can do quizzes to pinpoint what are the demographics. You can have a lot of different things to basically segment your audience. And then you know who they are, where they're from, and what is their intention within the app.
Yes, 100%. I love that. I'm very excited to see how this goes because I feel a lot of people need to understand more about crypto. The podcast is part of that. People come here and they understand this industry from a different perspective because I have guests like you that are very successful on one area and other founders that are very successful on different areas. So I really love people coming and understanding crypto in a different way. And with that, I would love to know, how do you go through the process? Like now we are entering a new market, and what are your expectations on that?
What are my expectations? I think if everything goes right, Bitcoin is gonna definitely reach 100,000. We're definitely gonna have an altcoin season where a lot of altcoins are gonna just skyrocket and boom. We're definitely gonna have some very powerful meme tokens launched and reaching $1 billion and more capitalizations in a very, very short period of time. We'll see a lot of newly rich people being created based on their good investments. And if all goes right, the industry is going to thrive.
Do you support meme projects? Have you get clients asking you to launch memes?
We are very selective. So we have a couple of projects we've helped with in the meme narrative, but we're very, very selective because a lot of them are there for the wrong reasons.
Yes, 100%. I guess some meme coins, as we know, the one, the Dogecoin, it's still there. It was launched a long time ago. People didn't really know that it was a meme coin because at that time, meme coin wasn't a thing, and now it is. So I'm excited to hear more about your favorite coins. Which ones are the ones that you like, apart from Bitcoin, of course?
You know, it's very hard to say who I like the most. Of course, the coins I like the most are those who are giving me the best returns. But realistically, when it comes to my favorites, I would say like this. I never give financial advice. A lot of my friends are asking me, who should I buy? Which coins should I buy? Tell me. And I'm like, go buy top 10. I always say, go to CoinMarketCap, see what's out there, which are top 10, just buy those. If you don't know the space, if you're not ready to sit in, put hours of work to research each of the coin, why they're there, what's their use case and utility, don't buy it. Buy top 10, buy Ethereum, buy Solana. I'm very bullish on Solana. Buy maybe Dogecoin, buy a couple of these big meme coins like Bread, for example, and that's it. Don't spend more on others unless you're gonna put in the work to research. My narratives that I have in my bags are a lot of driven with AI and DeepIn. I think that's gonna be a very interesting narrative. Definitely in Solana ecosystem. I'm guessing that Solana will surpass Ethereum at one point, maybe within next year. And yeah, I think that's what I'm bullish personally on.
Yes, of course. Here we are not giving any financial advice. Always,
your money is at risk.
Yes, just do your own research. We are just sharing our experiences and also sharing more about how, with our experience, people can understand what they can do in order to enter the space. And I'm very curious about AI as well. I have seen so many projects. I would love to know which ones are your favorites.
Which AI projects are my favorite? Again, I don't want to be the one who are going to be shilling one or the other project because, again, there is a very big risk associated for them not performing well. And then somebody like, hey, Laura, you shilled this project here. Oh, no, that's free TV. How dare you? But overall, I highly recommend to look into what's out there in AI space because if OpenAI will go public, and they probably will, and they're going to do very, very well, everything else in crypto that has any kind of AI name to the ticker will perform too.
100%. Laura, last question. Can Web3 bring more freedom?
100%.
And what freedom means to you?
So for me, freedom is being able to do whatever I want, however I want, whenever. And with Web3, with crypto, I'm financially independent, but also my money is not tied with any government, any bank. If I have my Bitcoin in my ledger, that's it. No one can take it away from me. Whereas if I have money in my bank, a government can take it at any point. A bank can go into bankruptcy, and if your money is not insured, you're done. So I'm very bullish on crypto as a financial freedom for everyone. And if you're a young person just starting to build your wealth, you definitely should be in the space.
Yes, and I think that comes with a lot of responsibility. And since you started this journey when you were very young, what you will do differently if you have to start now again with all the knowledge that you have now?
Just buy crypto and hold it. Just buy and hold. That's it. Just buy and hold. Do nothing. Don't speculate. Don't trade. Just wait till everything drops. It's not the time to buy right now. Like we're now, entering new all-time high. Wait till it drops. Buy and hold.
Amazing. Thank you, Laura. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you, Cristina.
And thank you for watching. Remember to share this with your friends because everybody deserves to know more about Web3, AI, cryptocurrency, and blockchain. I'm Cristina Najera. See you next time.
Thank you.